Hey everybody, Jabman025 here. Today I'm taking a look at a Revoltech series number 113, Anubis. Now, I don't buy as many Revoltechs or Figmas or Japanese toys in general as I do model kits, not even close. But I do buy a few every once in a blue moon just because I like the design. And I picked up the Jehu, so it seemed obvious that I had to pick up the Anubis. But this is a pretty pricey Revoltech. Now, taking a quick tour. Head, lots of poseability there. Move up and down. Side-to-side motion, not so much. The neck cowling kind of prevents that. See, another nice bend at the neck, but that big cowl on the back prevents any kind of side-to-side motion, so that's a little disappointing. You can see it's not perfectly straight. Revoltech sometimes have this problem where it just isn't quite perfect, but it's good, not great. The shoulders on this Revoltech are also a little wonky. The shoulder armors kind of gets in the way at times, but you can still get some nice poses on it. Elbows has zero problems, I'll give you that. Nice big bend out of the elbows. You can do anything you want with that. And that big section on the forearm really doesn't hamper the posing at all. The hands on this kit are a fist, but it's hanging on to those claws that pop out the front. And that's kind of neat looking. No extra hands on this kit, though. That's all you're going to get. The legs on this figure, kind of odd. See, they bend the wrong way, but that's the design of the Anubis. And pretty much like that is the only way you're going to get him vertical without a stand. And that's just kind of weird looking. But really, the figure itself's okay. But the selling point for this Revoltech is this. Now, they give you a stand. This is a double-sided stand. And they give you this setup. Now, this whole setup with the clear and the black Revoltech joints, it's all built for you. You don't have to do anything. The only thing you have to attach is the 6 binders on the back. And that's fairly easy to do. But luckily, that whole setup is already built. Now, it's going to plug into the back right above the tail section on the Anubis. You see, we also have a tail here. That kind of helps him balance, but not really. And you can see there's a little section of the tail that is steel at the bottom, just like it had in the video game, and that's kind of neat. You have 2 options for the base. You can have it like this, or you can extend it with this extension they give you. The extension makes it a little taller and does make it look a little nicer. The problem is the balance goes from not so bad to kind of bad. So you start shaking around, start moving a little bit, and it starts tilting. And it starts tilting some more, and then, yeah. So that extra extension is nice, but it doesn't help a whole lot. Now, because this thing has Revoltech joints all over the thing, you can move the binders anywhere you want, and the binders do open up and separate as so. So you attach Anubis on there, and you got a nice floating Anubis with the big binders on his back, and because the setup is clear, it kind of looks like the binders are floating, sort of. Get him crossing his arms like you see when he first appears in the video game, and it does look pretty badass. You can see you fiddle with the hips a little. Again, the hips are kind of like the shoulders, a little wonky, but feasible in terms of the posability. And if you can open up the binders and spread everything out, then it looks really, really cool. Now, as I've had this sitting on my shelf for a couple of weeks now, I kind of sit back, and the thing is, it's hard to get it perfectly symmetrical. I'll see it sitting there, and I'll say, maybe if I just move this one binder a little bit here, it'll look perfect. Or maybe if I just move this a little bit to the left, it'll look perfect. But you're never going to get it 100% symmetrical. And if you're a perfectionist, that can drive you up the wall sometimes. But regardless, it looks good. Now, they do give you a container, just like in all the Revoltechs, an extra joint just in case. And they give you one weapon, this lance. There's a little plug that plugs right into the hand. And no real problem holding this guy. It's a big lance, so it can get in the way a little bit, but it's really not that bad. And no problems holding it, won't drop it, no issues. And that does look pretty cool sitting on a shelf. Again, you can recreate some of the poses on the box. And, bring the forearm up, looking at the fist with the claws. Then, come on, come get some. Pretty cool right there. But for me, I'm going to have him pose right in front of Jehuti. Just kind of staring each other down. Both figures are really great and really detailed, as Revoltechs are. And this was a good purchase for me. I'm happy with it. Final thoughts on this figure. This figure is kind of pricey, I'm not going to lie. It's a pretty expensive Revoltech as Revoltechs go. But the detail is really high. It looks really great. You can get some nice poses, even if getting them into the right poses can be a little tricky. And the setup for the wings is just amazing. That backpack is just out of this world amazing. There's no other way to say it. Like I said, you can't get it 100% perfect symmetrical because of all the joints that are going into it, but if you take your time and you work your way through it, you can get some really nice poses. I'm happy with the purchase. I'm giving it a big thumbs up. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. Hope you found it informative. If you got any questions, ask them. I'll answer them as best I can. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. And please stay tuned for more. I always got more reviews coming. And thanks again, guys, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and one more thing. The name of this mech, the Anubis, comes from the ancient Egyptian god of death. God of death, you say?